Rosa La Peligrosa here on a Tianguis Thursday, the 23rd of July, 2020, the day after going into Cactuslandia on Wednesday, the 22nd, and getting caught in that thunderstorm. Yeah, it lasted quite a while. First, I tried to get shelter inside of a cactus tree. And then I thought, well, if these winds whip up very, very badly, which they often do, and they can actually topple parts of those trees, I thought, oh, not safe to be here because I don't need to be impaled with one of those big trees. So then I went to another one of these trees, the ones that have the yellow bark. I don't know what kind of trees they are, but I brought home a baby. Hopefully, I can grow it in my garden. Um, so I left that one and went for this other tree. And well, there wasn't a lot of protection, and I was really getting cold. So I went for another tree that had multiple trunks, same kind of tree, and I wedged myself inside the tree. Now I tried to take videos, but I was running out of space, and it was wet. I couldn't see. It was terrible. And so I wedged myself in that tree, and the tree trunks actually helped to protect me, not so much from getting wet. I still got wet, but I didn't get as wet, and it protected me from the wind and kept my body kind of warm and tried to protect my backpack, which I had books in. Who goes into the fucking hills with books instead of like protective gear? Only a nerd like me. But anyway, so yeah, so I had to wait it out, and it was quite a long wait. I couldn't tell you how long. I usually don't pay attention to time. I just waited out, and I was basically what I was waiting for was for the rain to die down so I can leave. And so I did. So the rain died down. It was still raining. I was cold, but once my body was in motion, my body started to generate heat again. And I was still cold though. But eventually the wind died down, and it wasn't raining so bad. So it took a while for the rain to die down, and I had to follow a different path. So in order for me to get back to where I needed to go to get home, I actually had to go in the opposite direction and follow the crests of the hillsides, and then look for those areas where I could, safely, you know, go down the road. I mean, excuse me, to go down the hill, because many of the areas were, they were, just rock cliff faces and stuff, and some of those I can scale down, but a lot of them I can't. And then with it being slippery, didn't want to go on any slippery treacherous paths, so I had to follow a longer path. So it took me a few hours to get back. And then when I found some safer lounge, I'm getting pretty good on my feet going through those hills and the rocks and stuff, so I was able to cover a lot of ground very quickly. And then I was able to get back over on the other side with the other ridges, and then head towards back towards Jesus Maria, and um, and then I finally got to paths where I'm used to traveling, so I was flying through those because the whole idea was at the time was going. Okay, it was getting late, sun was going down, and I didn't want to get trapped in there in the dark. I didn't have any nighttime provisions, so I was making tracks, and so I finally made it back to Jesus. Well, actually, to not just to Jesus Maria, because I got back there pretty good, but I still had more walking to do, and I got it back to the subdivision uh, Agua Clara, and then my favorite places to eat along the way, they were closed because it was too late, and I was dreaming about getting this hot seafood soup. But that place, I don't know what time they closed, but they closed early, and pretty much towards the entrance to that road that goes up into the hills. There was a lady has like a little trailer stand there, and she serves drinks and some tacos and stuff. And so I got a clamato stuffed with all kinds of vegetables, and once you drink it, it's very tasty. And then it's had some chili and some salt and stuff like that, and I could crunch on the vegetables, and it was quite tasty and gave me just enough energy and stuff to go. And I was actually jogging. I mean, I probably jogged maybe, I don't know, not long. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 kilometers if you count going through the hills, because I was doing a little jogging through there. And then once I got into the road, let's see, yeah, well, a couple kilometers or more. That's not too far. That's not too bad. Or maybe it was longer than that. I don't know, but I don't usually jog. I can do it. I can run, but I'm not conditioned for it. My joints probably can't take that. You can see I'm looking tired today. My eyes are kind of baggy and stuff. It was hard. I figure I was on my feet for, well, very close to 7 hours. Um, my feet don't feel too bad, but I'll tell you what, from the climbing that I did, luckily I have my stick. I always bring my stick. My legs are tired. My arms are tired from pulling myself up and around. And when I was doing some actual over the wall climbing and stuff, and so my arms are tired. I had to use a lot of use a lot of my body, used a lot of muscles to go through the hills. And so today I'm just kind of taking it easy. It's a cloudy day. I've done my walk through Tayangi's, and I got myself a better knife. Um, yeah, and well, I got to sharpen it and see how it works. But this is for taking into the hills. Because the other knife, it's one of those knives that flips out. So I'll just use that here for opening stuff, but I need something better for maybe getting cactus, or who knows if somebody threatens me. But I got my knife there. I got a sharpener. I got to sharpen that up. What I'd like to do is get a rifle so that if I do decide to spend the night in the hills, at least if I have a rifle, I can scare off any wildlife. There's puma, bobcat, and coyote. Well, coyote won't bother you, but I worry about the puma, the bobcat, and the bobcats, and the wild boar. And yeah, so you don't want to get caught up in the hills and confronted with animals that could be dangerous. But yeah, it was quite an experience. I mean, getting caught in the hills like that. So I've learned something. Well, if I'm going to go climbing through the hills during the rainy season, at minimum, I should have an umbrella. That wouldn't have kept me really very dry. What I needed was a rancher's poncho. One where the ranch. Some of these cowboys, they go. Sometimes when they take the cattle, they go far and they camp out and they actually live out in the hills. And I would imagine that they would have some very good heavy duty ponchos with a hood. So that's what I need is to get. I need to get one of those hoodie ponchos, and then I can carry that with me. And then to also make sure I have at least a sweatshirt with a hood, like a hoodie. Bring a zipper up hoodie or something. Put that in my backpack. Should the wind pick up and the rain and stuff, because that'll keep me warmer. And then put my poncho on, and I'll keep pretty warm. So I got chilled. I didn't not chilled to the point where I was uh, shivering badly, but I started to shiver. But shivering's good because that causes friction to keep your core warm and keep your organs at core temperature. But once I started walking and everything, it wasn't too bad. I felt okay, and it was so beautiful. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. But being out there in the rain, I mean, I couldn't enjoy the beauty as much because I wanted to get back as quickly as possible before the sun went down and before I got trapped where I wouldn't be able to walk safely. I could have used my phone, with the camera. I mean, not camera. I mean the light, but I didn't want to do that either. But actually, I didn't even think of it. But I just didn't want to get caught there in the dark. That's all I can tell you. So, but the rain did stop, and then all the bicyclists and joggers and stuff were all going into the hills. And but when I was way out far, 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 where the cattle graze, I unintentionally frightened two coyotes who were drinking a um, from a very large puddle from the downpour. And as soon as they heard and saw me, boom, they went scrambling away, and then they were gone. Yeah, they were cool. Saw what I thought that looked to me like a red-tailed hawk. Saw some rabbits, a number of lizards, as always, and ducks. Didn't see any egrets. Quite a bit of new plant life. Um, New flowers, more flowers, lots of growth on the cactus trees, fruit ripening, and then I discovered the beetle that eats the cactus, and I took some pictures and posted that on Facebook. And under the Cactuslandia album, so it shows these large beetles that look very much like industrial strength Japanese beetles. They're huge. It look same colors and everything. They're huge. It looks just like them, except they're way bigger, much more body mass to those guys, and they were really going to town on those that cactus fruit. So now I know what eats that cactus fruit, and not all the cactus fruit was being attacked by those guys, but somebody told me that they actually lay their eggs in the in the poop of the cattle, and then the larvae, they live in the poop, and then they eventually emerge as adults, and then they go to eat the cactus. I'm waiting for the psilocybin mushrooms to start sprouting out of the poops, and then somebody I know from Tianguis is a gentleman that I've been buying some stuff for, a guy buying stuff from, guy who's lived in Minnesota for 16 years. His name is Gabriel. His wife's name is Sophia, and yeah, he was telling me if you keep looking, and you could probably find some peyote. He says he's got a big one growing, so I'll keep my eyes open for that too. So anyway, so this is Rosa Peligrosa on a Tianguis Thursday, day after Cactuslandia Wednesday, recuperating from all that physical work that I put myself through. And yeah, I'll go out in just a little bit and go see some folks and see what's up. And I don't know, maybe I can find somebody with some weed. I already put some orders out with people. It's really strange to be in Motalandia and have nothing. I need something for pain right now, and I don't really want to rely on my mezcal and my tequila, because really I don't really like drinking. But I will have a shot. I had a half a shot of mezcal earlier, but I don't really like alcohol all that much. Anyways, this is Rosa Peligrosa, over and out.